Friends, hello. Let's talk about SoFi again. So I got a lot of comments, people asking me, and I didn't talk about it, and I completely just slipped my mind. But have I bought back into SoFi? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. No, I have not bought back into SoFi. Somewhere a week or so ago, I said I sold out of SoFi, and I did. I was telling the truth because I was scared of what was coming, and I'm going to be honest, I still am. I don't trust the market 100%. I just don't. I'm going to be honest with you. If you do, great, good, grand. Don't do what I'm doing. You don't have to. But the market it is at an all-time high, and the Feds have lied to us in the past, recently, where they have come out with these job reports, and then they have where they shot up the whole market. People bought in, they're like, "This is it," and then they come back out and they revise it, and then it's massive panic, and the market sells off. So, not that that's going to happen again, but I just don't trust the system, and I don't think really anybody should. But let's talk about SoFi. What I think and what I'm looking at here. Let's look at a chart. So you can see I've made this very technical chart with what we're looking at here, but I put it in kindergarten writing here so we can all follow along. You don't have to be really smart, really technical, or been in the market for many years to see this. But starting back here in July, this is when we first started to have a big push up. June, we had mass sell-off, a lot of stuff going on there in the market. And don't forget July, this is when the stuff happened with Trump. So the market shot up on top of that. And it's just the truth. The market shot up from that. With that, then we had summer in a little bit right there. And then we had a massive fall here into August. That was that big fall there, and that was another revise of job reports that came out there. Then since then we're starting having these big push ups in the market, but not only that, in SoFi. So from July, starting that first big hit right there in SoFi, where it got people moving and grooving and excited. Then here in September, we had the second one. Boom, we're back into $8. Really, at that point, we were back into a $7.90 position. Really good there, though. Number 3, we're back into $8. Number 4, we're back into some pretty big money compared to where we've ever been at this point. We're at $8.50. Now, we're looking for 5. So I think the sell-off could be somewhere, and there will be sell-off, obviously. It's going to have a sell-off here. Number 5 will more than likely be like the $8.70, but the new high on SoFi here. But the sell-off will probably, I imagine, go down to somewhere around a 780, 760. 760 might be gracious to say. Now, obviously, I think a lot of people would still love to see SoFi go back down to a 740. But even with this week, the beginning of this week, when we saw all this, like this time last week, the world was in devastation. I mean, we were talking about the port system, the war, we were talking about famine, the hurricane. I mean, it was just like, this is a different planet from last week. A lot of that stuff is still lingering. Obviously, the port situation has been cleared up. As far as we know, they're all happy. They got their raises. Everything's good. And here's the others. If you're new here, listen to me yap. I am very bullish on SoFi. I think SoFi could easily, this time, really just 6 months from now, if the market can get going, inflation can get under control, these rate cuts start to take effect, SoFi will easily go to a $15 to $20 stock. That is happening. You're not getting away from that. I don't care who's in here saying this is a garbage company, garbage stock, or, saying we're clowns. No. You have to be aware that SoFi is going to those numbers. It's going. It's already proven it. You're talking about a company for the last 2 years has had solid quarterlies, has had solid growth with customers. It's doing everything it's supposed to do, lagging in this crappy economy / market that's trying to get going. And I don't want to say market too much, but a market that's had a lot of wishy-washy stuff happen this year. I mean, this is This has been one of the craziest years in the market. But with that too, we're talking, just 4 weeks ago we were talking about recession. We were saying that, and right now the S&P is higher than it's ever been. It is very high. It's about to turn into the 600. With numbers here. Listen, no one can say that there's not going to be some sort of recession. There's always the possibility of that. Something terrible could happen tomorrow. This stuff in the East could get really out of control. And there's plenty of things going on around the world that could trigger a sell off in the market, a panic sell. Now, obviously, if we going into November, December, January especially, the number 6 level, more than likely, if we start to see SoFi and what it looks like it's going to continue to go up here, we're going to be in the $9 range here very soon. And once we get to $9, then that's going to be a whole new level. And probably when we get to $9, the $7 range, it's gone. So sadly to say, I think this might be the end of the sevens here. I think we might be out of the $7 range. And that's crazy to say because we've been here for a while now, but we may be saying goodbye to $7 here with SoFi. And that's a really good feeling, but it's also a sad feeling too, because you may never be buying SoFi at a low 7 here very soon. That ship has sailed at this point, unless we see something drastic happen in the market here. But I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't. I think the market may actually be straightening out here. The only thing that would crash the market right now is the things that I said, but I dare think the Fed knows better at this point to come out with a revision. So that's where I battle myself, where I go, well, they might come out with a revision on the job reports. They know better. That Jerome Powell knows he cannot come out with a revision on the job reports for September, and just in general for the year. He knows he cannot do that. But these rate cuts are still coming in, and they're still going to be talking about these rate cuts here coming up here this next month especially. So friends, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say, yes, I'm probably going to just bite the bullet here, and if SoFi can bleed here probably to a 770, 760, I don't know if it's going to make it there. But somewhere from 780 to 760, I'm going to buy back in. I'm going to take the money that I have that I sold out of SoFi at a high $8 range, been building up capital into that, and I'm going to put it all in SoFi. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to let it sit there. I'm going to let it sit there and ride it out till all the way to the end of 2025. And if we can get this market under control steady, if we can get inflation under control and steady, if we start to see these rate cuts come in and take effect, with SoFi especially, SoFi starts to really use its business model towards with these rate cuts, this is all going to make SoFi go on steroids in 2025. And that's what big investors know. That's what big Wall Street knows. That's why you're seeing all these articles come out right now where they're just praising SoFi. And that's why you're seeing every YouTuber go like, hey, you need to be paying attention to SoFi. And you do. You really do, because you're going to get left out if not. Sad and happy moment here. I think we're getting out of the sevens. I think SoFi is leaving the sevens behind. And hopefully this time next month, we're saying, I think we're getting out of the eights now. That's a real possibility. It's been a slow journey, but finally we are getting somewhere. But through that, I've raised a lot of capital, buying, selling on SoFi. But what I do want to make sure of going into the future, especially going into 2025, obviously not knowing what December is going to bring, I don't want to go into 2025 holding SoFi at a double-digit number. I want to be under a double-digit number. I do not want to be holding SoFi at 10 and above. I just don't. Will SoFi be at $10 in December? I don't know. I'm curious to see what the stock market's going to do in December. And I do think SoFi is going to depend more not what it could do here with who wins this election too. We'll see what happens there. So friends, that is kind of just that is my game plan. That's what I'm doing. It doesn't mean that's what you should do. That just means that's what I'm doing. But if SoFi ever had a chance to run, if SoFi ever had a chance to really become something special, this is it. This is the start. It's got everything it needs. It's literally been cooking up a storm here, and it's about to serve the party. These rate cuts, everything, the market getting rate, just all of it. All of it. It's all about to spew out, and we should see some big double-digit numbers start to take effect here with SoFi. Friends, I wish all of you the best of luck. I hope you have a tremendous weekend, and I am excited about this week in the market. Friends, talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.